a couple of slides, and then we can have an interactive session. You can just throw up your queries, and I will try to answer it. I come from a technology consulting background where I've been consulting across Asia and US and UK, and I work across multiple industries. Right, I do consulting on manufacturing as well as in financial services. Those are two different aspects of business, but that's what we do, and also work on Internet of Things, which is going to be the next generation technology, which is going to rule the world and enable the businesses with insight. So let's get on with a quick presentation, and then I'm open for questions. Okay, the screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So why digital transformation? Okay. Earlier, what the business was separate and the technology is separate, and your earlier the technology and business were separate. Today, a technology and business is so tied up together where you cannot see it as a separate item. When you say a deliverable, there is a technology involved in it, there is a quality involved in it, there is a process involved in it. So a delivery can happen only with the help of all these three. Okay, what happens? Why a digital transformation is required? The digital transformation is a roadmap which can gives you an insight on your business. For an example, say if I have my process, today we need to move from people-driven business to process-driven business. When you need to do a process-driven business, obviously you need to go for a technology adaptations. When you do a technology adaptations, you can have a lot of insight. I can give you from various aspects of businesses how this can be done. If it is an e-commerce, someone said that I'm doing I'm manufacturing an articles and I'm selling it. If it is an e-commerce, how many visitors you make, what is your online presence, what is your digital coverage you have across your regions, whether you do outside your country. So what is the kind of visitors you have, what are their likes, which product is being checked how many times, and how many and how do you do the promotions? Do you run on campaigns in the social forums and just drive your traffic? So similarly, there are various aspects which can you do or to improve your business. So the digital technologies will bring value to increase productivity and streamline business activity. This is why we say a digital transformation is required. A digital transformation, when I say a digital transformation, very, very high level, it's like seeing the earth from moon, which means that that's a high level degree of view what we look at. In short, you would say connecting people, process, and machine to generate a meaningful data to achieve business outcomes. So everybody has a business and everybody want to be successful. How do I achieve my success? So by mapping all my process and the involved the stakeholders and my customers, the stakeholders, internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. How do I synergize between everyone and generate an outcome? That's what is about digital transformation. Okay, when we talk about SMEs, okay, we've been working with large corporates, SMEs, and even the people with 10 people company. So how do I, what are the opportunities do I have? And what happens if I go digital? And what I can do to become digital? Say, for example, replacing a small classic example or SMEs, most of the SMEs works on Excel sheets. They say an invoicing or a quotation or generally done by an Excel sheet, where they are prone to human errors. They are prone to human errors. If we are a human, yes, we are prone to make mistakes. So we learn from our mistakes, and so we improve our the way we work. So we always recommend business to look at some tools which can enable and which it can do checks and balances. Okay, and what happens when you go digitally? It gives you an insight, clear insight on business. Okay, I may be repeating a couple of terminologies again and again. I'll give you a classical examples and industry wise you can how you can work on and improve your insight on your business. So digital technologies will enable SMEs to automate redundant, repetitive tasks and error-prone activities and tasks. Overall efficiency can be improved by adopting digital technologies. I think someone is driving the car or somebody. What are the key drivers? How does a transformation work for a small business or a medium business or a large business? How do they use a technology as an enabler to improve the business? A small business can earn more customers because using technology, I wouldn't say that technology can replace people, but technology can enable people and enhance their capabilities. Say, for example, small business owners where the budget is constrained, they can adopt technologies which can help and automate a lot of things. Classic example is like, okay, you have a set of customers, you want to send a reminders, automating a mail is an automated process. And by automating a mail, sending to your customers, you can send offers. You can find out how many customers have been opening your mail, how many customers has opened a mail with respect to a specific offer. You can do so much of study by just using technology. Medium businesses, what they do is they try to stay competitive among the peers. Large business, they concentrate on improving the productivity in terms of manpower, in improving productivity improvement in terms of missions and uptime of the missions and people. And they use more technology to do a risk assessment. And most of the time, small business are prone to high risk and high challenges. They encounter a lot of risk. It is because it is always a small business depends on one single person or two people. Always try to build your business on a process so that it can help to keep you afloat on the business. One of the PwC's statement is the companies adopting digital technologies increased profit by 47% and reduced cost by 40% as a primary drivers. So this shows a significant amount of profit and a significant amount in cost saving. Benefits: increase in efficiency and savings, improve customer experience, improve competitiveness, agility, and innovation, and a data-driven insight. Data is a new oil, and data is more powerful than the oil. So if you have the right data and if you have the right insight on your data, you can scale. Always don't limit yourself with what you have. I always try to think more. The data will help you to scale. The data will help you to see where you need to spend and where you should not spend. A classic example is you may manufacture 10 products. You may always, it doesn't mean that only 8 products gives you money, 2 doesn't give you a profit on it. But the 2 products will give you a value to your business, saying that those may be the lower value chain. That shows that those are the marketable items of your business. Say, for example, that may not give you more profit, but those product movement will be more. You have a less profit, but still that gives value to your company. So you can identify and classify the products, what you deal with, or the services, what you deal with, and you can concentrate. Few products and services, obviously, you need to use it for marketing strategy, and few takes care of your business, actual running business. You are unique, and you are unique by yourself, and you can achieve a bigger roadmap if you adopt the technologies. Technology gives you like cloud adoption. There are a lot of technologies in place. New terminologies are in place, like cloud adoption, but you need to be wise enough to choose the right technology, because a technology may bleed you sometimes if you do a wrong selections. So you need to know what you should choose, and you need to have a right partners to work on this. I'll give you examples on this. So if you do a right, say for example, we have consulted for a company which does an back office work for on a US client, where we said like you don't need to do this work, you don't need an Windows environment, because when you do go for a Windows environment, there's a huge amount of cost involved in the capex of creating that infrastructure, as well as an operating cost also. So whenever we work on a solution, when we size on a technology, it is not only the capex cost, you also need to look at an opex cost. So looking, having your
I just joined.
It's a Zoom. Walk. Walk.
Sorry.
Oh, that's your lounge.
Can you mute? One of those facilitators. Hello. Okay. Sorry about that, Sam and Pery.
So you need to really have a clear understanding about what would be your capex and what would be your opex in whenever you do a technology. Because another example is like Netflix was running on AWS, where they were spending 65% of the revenue on cloud services. This is one example. So they moved out of AWS, and they went and built their own cloud to do the services. So every size of business has its own challenges and limitations, and the major selection of technology, the key technology selection will be a major driver in success of your business. And what is a roadmap? Well, when you look at what is a roadmap ahead? Prioritize your business goals, and prioritize your business goals. Identify the scope for digital transformation. I had mentioned as digital transformation. I mean, I'm saying that it is a holistic approach. And another one, the major one, awareness program for the employees. They should know. Say, for example, you may have the best of softwares to run your business. If your people are not using it, then your investment goes for a toss. So you need to be very clear how the technology should be implemented and how ease of use and how your people is inclusive in your decision making. You may be a 10 people company today, and you may grow as a 100 people company tomorrow, but there will be different type of skill set in an organization. So you need to be really, really careful in selection in your technology. Whenever technology providers comes with the solution, what they have, doesn't fit your business directly. So you should always choose what fits you, and one solution doesn't fit everybody. The one solution sometimes in the same domain, because your process may differ from your competitor's process. So one solution doesn't fit everybody. So every business is unique on its own, and there are different requirements and a different type of skill set people involved in it. Okay, the conclusion about this is digital transformation is a holistic approach for an organization transformation of business activities, process, capabilities, and deliveries. Digital transformation journey is a continuous and need a well-planned approach. It is not that I do it today and I can forget it. No, the environment and the space, the business space you're playing it is challenging day by day. The challenges evolves. The technology adoption 20 years back and now is completely different. The landscape is completely different. 20 years back, the technology changes were every 5 years or 8 years. Now the technology changes is happening every year. And I'm going to tell you, the adoption in 5G is going to open up the paradigm of business opportunities in near future. And that is going to give you a lot of information about how a business can evolve over a period of time. And the 5G infrastructure will change how the business have been operating so far. And fasten your seatbelts, and you're going to have a wonderful journey once the 5G is in place, and it opens up ocean of opportunities. So you can do a lot of you can do a lot of data crunching, which may help you in scaling your business to the next level. I would like to take some questions so that I can just give you some use cases. You can tell your business and ask me what will work for you or what will not work for you. I can give you some examples, or I have some case studies which I can share you that what we have worked on and what is the benefits they have been achieved out of it. So it is not the size of the business. Every business means to us, whether it is a 10 people organization or it is a 5 people organization, it varies. So you can, if you have any questions, you can just cut across. I'm waiting. I mean, we would like to have it as a more interactive than I'm running. If you allow me to run, I can run slides for 2 days and nothing will get on your head. It is better that we can have some interaction so that it's good for us to share our knowledge as well. So as Lola said, and we learn every day. It doesn't mean that we are experienced or we're into business. It doesn't. Every day, a new people gives us a different type of approach, and we learn from them. So I would like to learn something from you so we can share our knowledge.
Let me ask one for manufacturing. How can you put technology into a manufacturing process? So I think we have 2 people that are in manufacturing, for example. So we have somebody doing manufacturing of spices, another one manufacturing of accessories.
Okay, so there are 2 ways of looking at it. One, if you are using machineries in your manufacturing, okay, I don't know what kind of process they do in manufacturing here. One example I can give you which they can relate to it with respect to the domain. For a classic example is like plastic industry. Let's take a plastic industry. Okay, most of the time what happens is in small businesses, or the owner will be traveling to get more business, or you'll be going to go for a collection of the outstanding amount, and he's always busy in wearing multiple hats and running the businesses. So what happens is, like, he assign a task to lower people, down the line, and ask them to manufacture a particular product. This, I'm taking a classical example of a small company, but this challenge is there in huge corporates as well. I'll tell you the case study on that as well. So if we have a process implemented in tracking the manufacturing process, which is getting a notification to the owner, you can cut the losses on a daily basis. In plastic, you have an option to recycle the materials which is being manufactured and the waste which comes out of a manufactured component. But again, there is a cost involved in grinding the material back, and there is a cost involved in reusing it. So it is better to have every mission gives data. One, you can relate get the data from your mission as well as compare the production data and see where is a gap. That gap can be on a raw material, the issue with the raw material, or a gap can be with the people who is operating the mission, or the mission itself might have a problem. So these things of insight will help you in optimizing the cost. One, cutting the losses on a daily basis. Say, for example, if my mission has to produce X number of component in 1 hour, if it doesn't reach that, I need to know that particular hour so that I can address the issue on the very minute instead of waiting till the day. This is one small example I'm talking about. There are missions with timers, there are missions with PLCs, there are missions with latest, more advanced, sophisticated control systems. But there are providers who can help you even if you're using a timer machines in your productions. Let's talk about the spices. Say weighing and packaging and stock management. I don't know what is the kind of turnover they do or how much stocking they do. And when it comes to spices, it has to be first in, first out. So you need to look at the shelf life and how do you store and what is it time you acquire and you just distribute to the end customer. And having a digital strategy, you can reach out to the either you have two types of system. If your distribution system is strong, you can do a B2B as well as B2C when it comes to spices. This is happening in every part of the world. This is happening in every part of the world, which will give you an extra mileage in increasing your revenue, also giving an insight on what kind of spices is being consumed by the group of people you're dealing with. So those data can be really online, or a small app, a small form to make an order, or a small app to say that, guys, you order it, we'll deliver it. But always have the control of your business with yourself. You set the rule for your business. Never, ever allow the customer to set a rule for your business. The day you allow your customer to set a rule for your business, then you are just getting into a disaster. Because we need to say this is because every bit of business decision involves a cost. So the technology will help you to track the cost. The technology will help you to optimize the cost, and technology will show you where is the pilferage which is happening in your business. So you will have an insight by seeing the data and how to optimize the cost in every aspect of your business. Any other examples you would like to have?
I just wanted to ask, I think it was Temitope that said she did spices. Temitope, did you find that useful? Do you have any other, I know I'm putting you on the spot. Do you have technology? Are you using technology in your business at all?
Okay, there is a question in the chat. What is the easiest way to create online presence for a small business? Okay, it's by Michelle. Michelle, it depends on your target customer. It's always, you have multiple channels and multiple options to show your online presence, but it depends on your target customer, the kind of product you use. And normally, whenever you hear about, they say in an e-commerce platform, people will refer to Amazon or a large players who deals with multi-products. Okay, on the small business, you need to choose. Say, for example, you have a online portal. One is if you don't have a leverage to maintain it, you can go for a Shopify accounts, which gives you an online presence. But there are phenomenal transactional charges involved in it. So you need to see whether you have that kind of margin to play around with this, or you need to take a call whether how much margin you can set aside for them, and how how much you are ready to set off from your margins. So the best way is you need to have your presence or your website online. Number two, you can promote through your social medias like Facebook, Instagram, or even sometimes now the Twitter is also a part of marketing programs. And if you're looking for a B2B business, you need a presence in a LinkedIn, so that you can, if you're looking for different geographies to play around, LinkedIn is the best place to connect with people. But always try to have some uniqueness in your business. Always keep exploring and try to see how you can evolve from your business. Every year you need to evolve. You need to evolve yourself. Else otherwise you will be lost in the crowd. Can we use Google Sheet on Google Drive platform for a small business digital transformation? Yes, you can use Google Sheet as a forms to maintain your accounts. But again, you need to use some formulas to do an auto calculations. For example, if you're asking for an invoice or to do a calculation, you need to create a template and use a template to do it. Yes, there is I can see a hand by Tokom. Yeah, please.
Hi, so I was just going to add something else for the person that was asking about web and easy web presence. I think one thing that people forget about is Google My Business. So Google creates a free and very SEO friendly profile for you. That if you haven't created it yet, I think it's the first step that you should take to get an online presence, because people always go to Google to search. And the second question that I also noticed they asked about Google Sheets. I think Google Sheets is an amazing tool to use because you can also, with no code, be able to create integrations with other applications. I think there's something called Make, there's also something called Zapier. So say, for example, you're using a different accounting software or you're using a different kind of software, you can connect it with Google Sheets to be able to get data from it. So I think Google Sheets is another very important tool for small business. I think the whole Google suite, I think, is very important for small businesses. Thank you.
Yeah, Google Business, Google Places will help you in giving visibility. Now, I think WhatsApp is also providing you an option to promote your business. WhatsApp business accounts. And similarly, Facebook, you can do a marketing and where you can just involve the communities which you're the target audience, and you can be part of the community and you can do the promotions. Two, you can use Google Analytics to to measure the success of each campaign you run for promoting your business. So there are different tools and technologies available, and it depends on the user's capabilities to handle it. Some can be handled by the end users, some you need a professional help to do it. So certain things are very basic things, which you just need to do, explore and try to use it, make use of it. Yes. Any more questions?
Pery, would it be possible for you to just give some case studies related to the healthcare industries, please?
Okay, healthcare. When you say healthcare, we would like to have a specific region about healthcare, because healthcare is a wide area where it is a wide avenue. You have a wide range of avenues in this. You need to be really specific what exactly you are looking at. I think somebody talked about healthcare in this group. Can you just say what exactly you do, and we'll try and see that we can answer your question. Who's talked about the healthcare?
So Shankar, could you repeat your question again? What sector of telemedicine are you in?
Pery, I requested for some case studies which we already worked here in India, so that the team can understand about what other avenue does the healthcare has in digital transformation in healthcare industry. I can give some examples that we already worked on with some case studies or some particular projects where we have made the business transformation, just for the audience to know that, yes, that is also an industry where healthcare digitalization can play a big role.
I can walk through, but healthcare, that's a confidential thing. We cannot share anything on that at this point of time. But I can walk through certain other industries solutions which we have worked on. Can I go ahead with the presentation, Lola?
Sorry, before we do that, can you, maybe digital transformation is a bit, I'm not sure, maybe we should, does everybody understand what digital transformation is all about actually? Maybe that's why we're not getting, because that is the future of businesses. So does everybody here understand what it is? Or maybe you should just, Pery, if you could just tell us a little bit about digital transformation, if you break it down a bit more, how it can be used in, why is it really necessary? I know you had a slide on that earlier, but maybe that's why people are not engaging, because here is not, Nigeria is not, in as much as, yes, we have technology with the SMEs in Nigeria, we're not using technology as much as much as we should, and as much as it's being used in somewhere like Kenya or India, for example. So part of what we want to do is to start to encourage people to be using more technology within their businesses. So maybe we need to break it down a little bit more, what digital transformation is, so they can start to think about it. Thank you.
Okay. So, okay, let me just put it in let me just give an insight on what digital transformation is. Digital transformation, nothing but making yourself, giving an online presence, one promoting yourself digitally, and also maintaining your business digitally to have an insight on what is happening in your business. In short, just mapping all your people, process, and mission so that you will know what is happening in your business. The digital transformation is a concept. It is not a technology, or it is not there are various technologies involved in it. I'll tell you how a medium and large organization use it. Say, for example, we do a risk assessment based on, okay, what happens if this people doesn't turn to work? What is an impact of a business? Okay, what happens if this mission fails? What happens if I don't have a power? So all these insights gives you a business and insight for a business to see how to handle and keep my business running on. So for the small business, what happens if my payment doesn't collect on time? If what is the number of credit days I can allow my customers to go on? Or what are the products which gives me high margins? And what is my run rate for a business? So to have this visibility, obviously you need to have a digitally instead of writing in a note. So this gives you an insight on what my business, where my business is, and where I need to do what I need to do for this quarter, and what I need to do for the next quarter. In short, having a data from every aspect of your business to understand and scale is what digital transformation is about. Whether it is marketing, whether it is a finance, whether it is a production, whether it is a customer engagement. A best customer engagement is having a proper CRM is one way of digital transformation. How do I handle my customer queries, and how do I give a response to it? How do I handle my customer queries, and how do I create a knowledge base out of it? So every aspect of business, if you see, you might see a product rating in an Amazon. So what happens when a product is being rated by multiple customers? That gives you it gives a positive feedback. It also gives a negative feedback. Whenever a customer comes try to buy a product, they say, what is the feedback what is the user experience from purchasing those products? So that gives you an insight on saying that, okay, I can trust and buy from this buyer, or I should not buy from this buyer. So that gives you an information. This is also a part of digital presence. So you are giving a feedback and response in real time of your purchases, or your feedback is helping others to decide whether to buy this product or not. Otherwise, what happens is, like, people keep buying and they will have a different type of experience. So one is staying connected and sharing information and giving an insight for business is all about digital transformation.
So how
Lola,
can yes, so that explains it a lot better. Please, attendees, ask your questions now, because you've got the expert ready to answer questions for you. But I know another question I keep being asked is, how can you incorporate it into your business? Are there any ready softwares there? And when should you start looking at bespoke for your own organization? So, for example, you mentioned CRM. Are there software that can be bought, or can it be built to my specification, for example? And when do I decide which one to use? So for management accounts, it's the same thing, because if there isn't any data, so how do you keep the data? Because essentially it's all about the data.
Okay, the good start is, like, for any businesses to go keep the data live and available and reach. Today, the two best options you have to keep your data live and available is, like, one is O365 accounts, mailbox, another one is the Gmail. So they both give you a storage space. They give you various tools to handle it. So you need to size which suits your business and you can use it. Say, for example, a few businesses, small business runs a business with one single mail ID. They don't give mail ID for everyone. That's fine. Still, you go for a paid account so that you have an access of a storage where you can store the data and it is accessible wherever you go. That's the best part of it. You can access from anywhere online. You don't need your local machine. Say, for example, you don't need a local machine. And if you have a connectivity on your phone, yes, you can access those documents in real time. That is the first empowerment you get over your business. So the technology will empower you to enhance and give visibility on your business. So you can decide. We advise some customers, do this and decide whether you want to run the business or you want to look for a different options for it. Because it is no point in betting on the failing horse. If you know that, because the industry change, one classic example is like, that a carburetor for a car is a major part when moving from a diesel car. Okay, the petrol cars comes with thousands of components. A diesel car comes with 1,500, which means that 50% more component than your petrol car. But the electric vehicles comes with half the component of your petrol car. If you talk about the engine part of an electric vehicle, it is only 8 component. If you talk about the full car of the lightings and other features, that is where your major component increases. If you talk about only the engine which is going to power it, it is only 8 components. Nothing beyond that 8 components. So the technology is changing. It is evolving every day. So you need to scale and evolve. That's what you're trying to communicate.
Thank you.
Yes, Shankar, that's correct.
Don't know if anybody else has any other questions.
So mine's not necessarily a question, but maybe just a comment. Is that okay?
Yes, please go ahead, Amara.
Yeah, so basically, I think when it comes to digital transformation, the best thing to do might be to sit with an expert who can then do like a digital readiness for you. And what happens in a digital readiness is that, especially for new businesses, you try to understand what's happening out there. And it feeds into what you said with strategy, because you're going to think about the tech, right, aspects of your business. And you think about what's happening with other businesses on the same scale as yours, and then what you can bring in. And then you just kind of build out a roadmap on how you start to bring these things in and what are the most important things. Like CRM would be like literally one of the most important things as a business, because you want to be able to have a handle on the customers that you have and that kind of stuff. And then you start bringing in other things that help with your processes, your systems, your structures, etc. So that's just my comment.
That's correct.
Okay. Sam, sorry, Pery, is there anything else you would like to tell us? We have the last speaker in the wings ready to go on to tell us about what financiers or investors are looking for in a business.